Hello everyone, I'm Aratrika Bhomik and I welcome you all to Courts Today on LiveLaw, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place today. We will begin with important orders from the Supreme Court and then cover High Courts and other courts. The Supreme Court today sentenced fugitive liquor baron Vijay Mallya to 4 months in jail and imposed a fine of Rs 2,000 on him for a 2017 contempt of court case. Mallya, who is an accused in a bank loan default case of over 9,000 crore involving his defunct Kingfisher Airlines, was convicted of contempt of court in 2017 over transferring $40 million to his children in violation of court orders, in a case filed by a consortium of banks led by the State Bank of India. A bench comprising Justices U.U. Lalit, S. Ravinder Bhatt and P.S. Narasimha ordered the fine to be deposited within 4 weeks to the Supreme Court Legal Services Authority, failing which the bench observed that a further sentence of 2 months will be added. The Apex Court further instructed Mallya to deposit back $40 million with 8% interest to the concerned recovery officer within 4 weeks, failing which attachment proceedings would be initiated against his properties. The Supreme Court today asked the new Maharashtra Legislative Assembly Speaker Rahul Narvekar to defer acting on the disqualification petitions pending before him in view of the petitions on the same issue pending in the Apex Court in the wake of the political crisis precipitated by a group of Shiv Sena MLAs withdrawing support to former Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray and pledging loyalty to rebel Eknath Shinde camp in the party. Both the rival camps of Shiv Sena, led by former Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray and current Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, have initiated disqualification proceedings against the MLAs belonging to the rival camps. A bench comprising Chief Justice N.V. Ramana and Justices Krishna Murari and Hima Kohli took note of the submissions of senior advocate Kapil Sibal that several pleas of the Uddhav fraction were to be listed on Monday. Accordingly, Chief Justice asked Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who appeared for the Maharashtra Governor, to convey to the Speaker not to take any action in the matter for now. The Supreme Court today said that the centre is bound to honour its commitment given to Portugal and release gangster Abu Salim on completion of his 25-year sentence in the 1993 Mumbai blast case. A bench comprising Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul and M.M. Sundaresh observed that the central government is bound to advise the President of India for exercise of powers under Article 72 of the Constitution to remit the life sentence of the gangster on completion of his 25-year of jail term in view of the national commitment made to Portugal during his extradition in 2002. The court, however, declined to calculate the 25-year timeline from September 18, 2002, when Salim was detained in Portugal for a passport fraud case, and underscored that the 25-year period would be calculated from his detention on October 12, 2005. Pertinently, the Apex Court also refused to commute the life sentence awarded to Salim by observing that the sentence imposed was just and proportionate considering the gravity of the crime. The Supreme Court today recommended the Union Government to introduce a special enactment in the nature of a Bail Act to streamline the grant of bail. A bench comprising Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul and M.M. Sundaresh also passed a slew of directions to ensure compliance of proper procedure for arrest and also for setting strict timelines for disposal of bail applications. The bench also underscored that the investigating agencies and their officers are duty-bound to comply with the mandate of Section 41 and 41A of the CRPC, and that the directions issued in the landmark judgment of the Supreme Court in Arnesh Kumar vs. State of Bihar has to be followed, failing which the accused would be entitled to the grant of bail. The Supreme Court today dismissed as withdrawn the petition filed by BJP leader Jagjit Singh seeking a CBI probe into the murder of Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala after his counsel said that he was not pressing the petition as the Punjab police is already taking steps. Advocate Namit Saxena, appearing for the BJP leader, submitted before a bench of Justices Ajay Rastogi and A.S. Oka that since the Punjab police was already taking steps to probe into the singer's death, the petitioner no longer wanted to press for the relief sought in the plea. Although the bench acceded to the counsel's request, it highlighted that such matters should not be politically connected and that the court has to work openly for all people. The Anti-Corruption Bureau of Karnataka has approached the Supreme Court against certain adverse observations made by a single judge of the Karnataka High Court. The Bureau's Additional Director General of Police, Seemant Kumar Singh, had become the center of controversy last week after Justice H.P. Sandesh of the High Court had made a sensational statement in open court that he had received indirect threats of transfer after passing several directions against the Bureau. The judge had orally stated that Singh was a powerful person and that a High Court judge had given him the example of another judge getting transferred for making similar interventions. On Monday, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta mentioned the matter before the Chief Justice of India for urgent listing. Accordingly, the Chief Justice agreed to list the matter for hearing tomorrow. In a new development today, Justice Sandesh recorded in writing the threat of transfer he received from a sitting judge. The Supreme Court on Monday dismissed a writ petition filed by an additional sessions judge from Madhya Pradesh challenging the termination of her service for passing a wrong judicial order while on probation. The court held that there was nothing wrong in the decision of the state of Madhya Pradesh to terminate the services of the judge on a recommendation made by the full court of the Madhya Pradesh High Court. Accordingly, a bench comprising Justices U.U. Lalit, Ravindra Bhatt and Sudhashnu Dhulia dismissed the writ petition filed by the former judge who appeared as party in person in the proceedings. The Madras High Court today dismissed an application filed by former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam seeking to put a hold on the AIDMK General Council meeting which was scheduled to be held on Monday. Justice Krishnan Ramaswamy pronounced the orders at 9 a.m., paving the way for the meeting to be held at 10 a.m. The court noted that out of the 2,665 members of the General Assembly, more than 2,100 members have expressed a desire to conduct the meeting and accordingly underscored that in a democratic setup, the will of the majority must prevail. A special CBI court today rejected former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh's plea seeking default bail in a corruption case registered against him by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Special Judge S.H. Gwalani also rejected the pleas of two other accused persons in the case, Sanjeev Palande, Deshmukh's former personal secretary, and Kundan Shinde, Deshmukh's former personal assistant. The accused persons had sought default bail on the ground that the CBI had not submitted its charge sheet within the 60-day mandated period and that the charge sheet filed by the agency was incomplete. The CBI had filed the FIR against Deshmukh and unknown others on April 21, 2021 under Section 7 of the Prevention of Corruption Act and Section 120B of the IPC for an attempt to obtain undue advantage for the improper and dishonest performance of public duty. Co-founder of Alt News Mohammad Zubair has moved a sessions court in Delhi seeking bail in the Delhi FIR registered against him recently for allegedly hurting religious sentiments and promoting enmity through his tweet made in 2018. Zubair was denied bail by Chief Metropolitan Magistrate Snigdha Sarvaria on July 2nd. The matter will be heard tomorrow by Additional Sessions Judge of Patiala House Courts as per the roster. In a significant development today, Justice H.P. Sandesh of the Karnataka High Court, who had made a sensational revelation last week that he had received an indirect threat of transfer for passing orders against the head of Anti-Corruption Bureau, Seemant Kumar Singh, recorded the threat in a written order on Monday. The judge recorded in his order that he was informed about the indirect threat of transfer by a sitting judge during the farewell dinner function organized by the High Court to bid farewell to former Chief Justice Ritu Raj Awasthi on July 1st. Thank you. Keep watching LiveLaw for more updates.